What do you want?
As much as I hate to admit it, I need your help. That signal you shut down in DRB territory. It's been active for almost a year.
You're telling me someone outside this company has had access to our network since before the first attack?
I've detected intrusions before and shut them down swiftly every time. But whoever designed this particular algorithm is good. Very good.
You've told Sarif?
See, here's the thing. The intrusions were possible because of a backdoor access into our security system that I never even knew existed.
The one Sanders' team used to get inside our plant.
I've worked here for 7 years, Jensen, and this is the first time I've seen that particular access route. David Sarif created it specifically to bypass the firewall. He's hiding something, and I think you should find out what it is.
Why me?
Because, as far as I can tell, Sarif created that access and was streaming a lot of data through it shortly after your ex-girlfriend suggested he hire you.
Excuse me.
Mr. Jensen, isn't it?
Sir, you have that charity dinner?
In a moment, Isaiah. I was hoping I might run into you, Mr. Jensen. Bill Taggart.
The founder of the Humanity Front. I know who you are.
Yes. Yes, I imagine you do. As David Sarif's top security man, I imagine you have quite the file on me. But I assure you, Mr. Jensen, I am devastated by recent events.
Really?
I do not support what you and your company are doing to mankind. I believe it's extremely dangerous. But abolishing human enhancement technologies will only be achieved through legal means.
I'll keep that in mind.
This is your first day back since the accident 6 months ago, isn't it?
Sir, we have to go.
What happened to me was no accident.
Ah, my mistake. But it must have been stressful facing down a second incident so soon. I imagine it brought back all kinds of unpleasant memories.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Taggart, but it was nothing I couldn't handle.
I'm a psychologist, Mr. Jensen. I know when a man is hiding behind words. The flesh may heal, but the mind is not always so resilient. You might want to keep that in mind. Now, if you'll be so kind as to excuse me.
I'm curious about something, Mr. Taggart. What is it you hope to accomplish by coming here tonight?
I would think that would be obvious. Your company has been viciously targeted. The violence and bloodshed that's occurred, it must be stopped. But I'm afraid it won't be until men of wisdom and understanding come to an agreement.
About what?
About the future, Mr. Jensen. This enhancement technology threatens to change the course of human evolution, to redefine what it even means to be human. You think governments can afford to let that go unregulated?
You can't stop progress, Mr. Taggart.
Perhaps not. But neither can we afford to sit by and watch it happen on its own. Not when we have the ability, the collective will, and foresight to influence it.
I see. Thank you for illuminating me.
Anytime.
You're Taggart's aide, aren't you?
Meeting you...
Dr. Isaiah Sandoval, isn't it?
No need to play ignorant, Mr. Jensen. I am quite sure you have a file on me that's as thick as the one you have on Mr. Taggart.
You're an outspoken activist in your own right, Dr. Sandoval.
When you have seen the things that I have, you find you have no choice but to stand up and be counted. Frankly, I am surprised an ex-cop like yourself isn't more disturbed by the dangers of this technology.
Augmentations help a lot of people, Doc. Handicapped, war vets.
Yes, but at what cost? My own friend had his life ruined by these so-called enhancements of yours. A man much like you who had no choice but to become augmented. Yet once he was... Too much power can make you do terrible things, Mr. Jensen. I suggest you think long and hard on that.
I'd like to hear more about your friend, Dr. Sandoval. What exactly did he do?
Nothing.
Was he injured in the Gulf?
He went on a rampage in a shopping mall, if you must know, hoping to be gunned down by the police, rather than face a lifetime battling augmentation addiction.
He was addicted to augments?
They don't talk about it in those corporate brochures of yours, do they? Neuroposine dependency, rejection psychosis, any number of physical and psychological ills have resulted from this technology, and yet we rarely hear a word about them.
I'm sure the literature is out there.
No thanks to the throng of corporate lawyers attempting to stop it.
Your friend, did he succeed? Did he suicide by cop?
No. Bill Taggart talked him down.
Boss, we need to talk.
Is something wrong?
I'm not sure. Did you set up a private access route to bypass the company firewall right before you hired me?
I what?
Pritchard said someone's been using it to access our system since before the first attack. The security measures he and I set in place never stopped them because we didn't even know the loophole existed.
Oh, I see. Frank's fixed that, though, right?
He has now, but he's wondering why you never mentioned it.
Frank's paranoid, Adam. You know that. Can a busy man forget things once in a while?
You streamed an awful lot of data through that portal, boss. Right before you brought me on board. Pritchard may be paranoid, but I gotta admit, I'm wondering what was in it too.
Yeah, as an ex-cop, I guess you would. But the important thing is you found the hole and plugged it. We're secure now. And the information you uncovered in that FEMA facility may actually help us track these guys. So let's just stay focused on what's important.
You went behind my back on this one, boss. With all due respect, you hired me to keep this place secure. But I can't do that if you are not 100% straight with me.
Why are you getting so defensive? All I'm saying is we should be looking forward, Adam, not back. Not telling you about that portal left us open to attack, fine. But to be fair, it was your job to find our weaknesses and protect us from them. I need troops I can rely on, and I thought you were one of them. I hired you. I trusted you. When a lot of other people said I shouldn't. You know, Frank wanted me to hire a private military outfit like Bell Tower Associates. Maybe I should have.
I think I proved myself today. And the only reason I'm worried about that loophole right now is because the data you streamed through it could have been accessed, backtraced, and stolen by the men who attacked us. Our enemies might still find a way to hurt us with it.
What? Well, I never considered that. I'm sorry, son. I guess you have proved yourself today. I just wonder if you're being a bit paranoid here. Fixating on details that aren't critical? I mean, are you so shaken up by what happened 6 months ago, by your failure to make a difference then, that you can't roll with the punches anymore? Damn it, Adam! I brought you back in today because you have an immediate crisis to deal with. Questioning me about things that don't matter isn't going to bring Megan back.
Megan? Boss, what does Megan have to do with any of this? I thought we were discussing a security breach.
We were. She doesn't. I mean, Adam, you're missing the point. The data I streamed had nothing to do with Megan or her work. It was just a routine, fact-finding check that sprang from one of our discussions. The kind of check I have to run quite often around here, believe it or not. Now, if somebody backtraces the transmission and gets a look at it, I very much doubt they'll know what to do with it. Trust me, we're fine. Adam, are we done here?
I would like nothing better than to trust you with this, boss. But trust is a two-way street, and the way you've handled this entire conversation so far makes me think that it's you who isn't trusting me. Why, boss? What is it you're so afraid to tell me?
Adam, of course I trust you, son. And it's not that I'm afraid to tell you the truth. It's just that, honestly, I'm afraid you'll take it the wrong way. All right. Look, the truth is, I set up a confidential data channel for a private investigator, someone who can run covert background checks on people, potential new recruits, like you.
You what?
I had to, Adam. You were a liability, remember? You'd just been fired from SWAT. Now, Megan believed in you, but I had to be sure. Look, I don't want this to come between us. I'll send the files to your computer. You can see for yourself what he dug up. But Adam, you'd better be sure.
Why? What do you mean?
I mean, sometimes the past should stay in the past. Once you see that data, you can't unring the bell. When you're ready, come back and talk to me. We need to discuss our next move. Here, this is for you. It's a corporate passport encoded with your biometrics. I've set up a false flag routing which should get you to Henshaw Island without any problems.
You're sending me to China? What about FEMA?
FEMA's got nothing to do with this, trust me. We'll have better luck in China.
How can you say that? I saw the bastard who killed Megan pulling his men out of that facility. I left one of those men dead in its underground storage bay.
I know that, Adam. Frank was monitoring the whole thing. So I also know that before he died, that man gave you an address in China. I want you to check it out.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, Adam. There's a reason this company's under attack. You think it has to do with the typhoon or with some other top secret military project that I haven't told you about?
The thought had crossed my mind.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. The work Megan's team was doing before they were killed, it was redefining what it means to be human. This company, Seraph Industries, was about to lead mankind to its next stage in human development. Self-controlled evolution. Can't you see how scary that can be to some people?
Sure. I also see how lucrative it can be for some others.
It's never been about money for me, Adam. But you're right. There are people out there who don't exactly feel the same.
Like who?
I'm hoping you'll be able to find that answer for us in China. So get going. Farida's prepping the chopper.
Jensen, you might want to get ready. The jewel of the Yangtze approaches.
Son of a bitch. We're supposed to find answers in that.
Hey, twice the scum and half the space. Hang on, we're going in. The address you got off that Merc, Hengsha Court Gardens. It's a bit of a walk from here in the Yuzhou district, but I figured it might be best not to drop you too close.
In case Barrett only gave up the address, knowing I'd walk into another trap.
It's the kind of thing I'd do to an enemy. You want my advice? Just find out who lives there and get out.
Get word to Pritchard, Malik. The hacker who's been attacking us goes by the handle Windmill. Real name's Ari Van Bruggen. Bell Tower's been brought in to arrest him.
Arrest or get rid of?
Either way, he found out someone was gunning for him and took off. We need to find him.
There's a nightclub near where I dropped you called the Hive. It's notorious in black market circles. If this Dutchman is running, his first stop will be there.
I'll have a chat with the owner.
The Hive is a members-only club, Lao Wai. Without a membership card, I can't let you in.
You telling me I gotta pay to get into this dive?
We've got a reputation to keep. Can't let just anyone get in here.
Just anyone with the money.
No pay, no play. You want in or not?
Here, take it.
Thank you, sir. Here is your membership card. Welcome to the Hive. I'm sure you will enjoy our establishment.
What can I get you?
The Golden Phoenix sling.
Oh, a man of taste, are we? Excellent choice. There you go. You got a favorite poison?
I'm looking for Tong.
Everyone wants to talk to Tom. Check the VIP lounge upstairs.
You work here?
Yeah, you could say that.
Good. I need to see your boss.
Really? Well, I'm sorry, Guailo. Mr. Tong Zihong sees no one today.
Look, I didn't come halfway around the world to take no for an answer. Do us both a favor and tell me where he is.
Or what? You get mad and tear down a few walls with those enhancements of yours? This place isn't named the Hive for nothing. It's got plenty of worker bees come out of the paneling to stop you. What is it you think Mr. Tong do for you anyway?
I'm looking for someone. A cybersecurity specialist named Ari Van Bruggen. You know him?
Never heard of him. What do you do? Steal your girl? Owe you money?
He had a job go bad, and now he's on the run from the people who hired him. But you knew that already, because a man like Mr. Tong doesn't hire idiots. And this is the first place people like Van Bruggen come when they need help. So stop wasting my time and take me to Tong.
You've got it backwards, boy. You're wasting my time. Van Bruggen is minor league player. Tong knows who he is. He just don't care. He's got bigger things to worry about. Are you done?
The people hunting Van Bruggen work on an international scale. If he's not on your radar yet, then Tong is way behind. I can help him catch up, but only if we pool our information.
Don't try to bullshit a bullshitter. Van Bruggen's the only game in town. You know it, I know it, so of course Tong knows it. You can tell us nothing we don't already know. It's a local matter. Hengsha only. No Guailo allowed. Consider yourself lucky. As an outsider, you not know how to play on our turf anyway.
Being an outsider here gives me the advantage. I got backup and support that nobody else knows about, plus some resources of my own. Your boss can gain from all this, but only if you let me see him.
Maybe Van Bruggen should have gone to you for help, instead of coming here. But it worked out okay. We found him a safe hiding place. What if I make you a deal? We only need Van Bruggen for a couple of jobs. After that, we got no use for him. So you come back in a month, and I personally show you where he is.
All I need from Van Bruggen is information. The same information his enemies are trying to keep from getting out. There's no point in them going after him anymore once he tells me what he knows. So if Tong lets me see him now, in the long run, it'll make his life easier.
You don't even know who you're going up against, and you think you have a chance? Forget it, Guaylo. You're not going to see Tong ever. You don't know it, but I'm saving your life.
You got a favorite poison?
Tong wasn't upstairs.
He wasn't? You checked the lounge and he wasn't there?
No, and I really need to see him. Where is he?
Sometimes you have to prove yourself to Tong first. But today could be your lucky day, Lao Wei, because I just might be able to help you out with that.
Is that so? And just how much is this help likely to cost me?
That all depends on you, my friend. I got a problem I need solving. Trouble is, none of my usual guys are available. And this problem, it involves a woman. Someone who owes Tong money. Getting it out of her is proving to be difficult. It's a dirty job, but it might just get you what you want. You interested?
Tell me more. I'm listening.
That's what I like to hear. This woman, Jaya, she's a broker. Highly competitive field in Hengsha. But without the right skills, her business wasn't doing so well. So we helped her out, gave her a nice social enhancement upgrade chip so she could understand her clients' needs. Now, it's time to pay us what's due, but she says she won't.
So basically you want me to be your collector?
Yes, but it's not as simple as that. The girl's gone into hiding and thinks we won't find her. But she also took her phone and computer along to keep her business alive.
Not very smart. Assuming you've got the equipment to track those.
We don't exactly. But we know someone who does. And that's where you come in. Bao Tower set up a surveillance network around town. A series of relay antennas. I need you to hack them. 3 relays should be enough for us to access the database and triangulate Jaya's position.
Then I go get your money.
Exactly. The first relay is on the rooftop of a 4-story building in the Yuzhou district. I assume you've got an info link and Wayfinder package in those fancy augs of yours? I'll upload the coordinates and then contact you once you've hacked in.
Who are you? Another one of Tong's thugs? Well, get out! I told him I won't pay another credit.
Look, I know this is not an ideal situation, and I'm not proud that I gotta do this. But Tong's crew wants the money you owe them.
Oh, you poor boy. Having trouble dealing with the dirty job you have to do? And I should feel sorry for you? Reality check, taxman. You're here to steal money from me.
Stealing? They got you the augmentation you needed, and they expect you to pay for it. Not the most charitable thing to do, but I would hardly call it stealing.
Are you really that gullible? Tong doesn't run a buy now, pay later operation. It's more like a buy now, pay forever. Listen, I just started as a broker. Most other brokers come from rich families. They paid for augments that give them an incredible edge in the business. There's no way I could afford anything like that through legal channels.
So you cut a deal with a crime syndicate?
I didn't study this hard to end up with nothing. Once I made enough money, I offered to pay for the aug. But no, what they want is part of my monthly profits. They say they're entitled to it since it's their upgraded enhancement chip that helped me make that money.
Couldn't you work without the augment? You wouldn't have gotten into so much trouble if you'd played by the rules.
Play by the rules? Let me tell you a little story about playing by the rules. I come from a poor family. My father, my mother, my 2 sisters, and 3 brothers, none of them ever amounted to much. When I tried to do better, when I made efforts in school, they said I was wasting my time. I got into business school, and again, they said I was wasting my time. that I could never compete with all those rich kids and their tutors and extra classes.
But you did.
I did. I finished top of my class without the extra help and special attention, only through blood, sweat, and tears. And then what did my classmates do? They cheated. They once again bought their way to success. And what did my family say? That I had wasted my time. I was just supposed to accept defeat after all the efforts I've made? No. No way.
How did you meet Tong?
The same way most people end up meeting Tong. I was hurt, and one of his hounds smelled blood. They came to me and offered me help. I was intelligent enough to know it was a bad idea, but angry enough not to care.
How much are they asking from you?
A couple hundred credits every month. Doesn't look like much, but in the long run, let's just say they've made a very lucrative deal. Especially if you consider I'm not their only client.
Listen, maybe I can speak to one of Tong's men. Try and get you off the hook.
You would do that? I thought you were just another one of his mindless thugs. It's hard to properly express what this could mean for me.
Don't thank me yet. I can't guarantee they'll listen. But I'll try. Hey, about that job?
You found Jaya yet? You need to get back the money she owes us.
Like you said, this is a nasty bit of work. What's in it for me?
What's in it for you is, I put in a good word with the boss. Make sure you meet him. Got it?
What's it gonna take for you to leave Jaya alone for good?
I don't understand. Didn't you get the money?
I know about the Shylock scam you're running. Get her the augment she wants and then bleed her with monthly payments for the rest of her life. I want to know what it's gonna take for you to leave her alone for good.
A cyborg with a heart of gold, are we? Tell you what, Guilo. You give me a year's worth of payments and she's free.
You're too kind a man. A fine specimen of humanity. Here's your money. Now you better leave her alone.
Don't make threats you can't enforce. But yes, she's off the hook. I'll put in a good word for you with Tong. He's in his office downstairs. The guys will let you through.
You see this? Panda screw it up in the fourth. I'm just flushing my money down the pot.
You're Tong?
Hey, you only work that out now. Guess you're not as sharp as you think. How about you tell me who you work for? Then I decide what I tell you about Van Bruggen.
Does the name Seraph Industries ring any bells?
Seraph Industries? Isn't that American company stole all the headlines a while back? You're still in business?
Why wouldn't we be?
Check the news. Biotech corporations seem to be failing a lot these days, especially the ones who are making enhancements. Van Bruggen's in the Alice Garden pods. Capsule 301. Place is a rat hole, but it's useful sometimes. Make sure you leave him in the same shape you find him.
And if I don't?
Your call. But those implants of yours might look even more special on somebody else.
Jensen, I was on my way out.
What are you doing here, Malik? I told you I got this one.
I know. I didn't do anything. Trust me. Van Bruggen's all yours.
Hang on a second. Something's wrong. What is it? Why are you here?
It's nothing. I mean, can't a girl have secrets?
Malik?
Jensen, if you even think of using that Casey mod on me, I will hit you.
I wouldn't dream of it. I'm just concerned, that's all.
Fine, since you're so damn curious. Years ago, I used to live here, remember? My friend, my best friend, Evelyn. She was like a sister to me. Made living here fun. But then there was an accident. She's dead.
I'm sorry, Malik.
Wait, Jensen, let me finish. I thought I was okay with it, but I know she didn't just die. She was killed. Murdered. Her damn scumbag boyfriend did it. I know he did. I knew he was trouble right from the start, but she just wouldn't listen to me.
Malik, easy. If your friend was murdered, the police would have suspected something. They would have investigated.
That's just it. There was no investigation. They said she fell down a flight of stairs like it was some kind of freak accident. But her wounds, the way she died, they don't add up. It's right here in the damn blood spatter analysis.
Blood spatter? You've seen the police report?
Yes. A friend left a copy of it in a pod here for me to pick up. Listen, I know it sounds crazy, but I think there's been a cover-up. I just have to prove it. If I could get my hands on the autopsy report, the one that never surfaced, I know I'd get the truth. Except...
Why do I suspect I'm about to get dragged into something?
Look, Jensen, I'm sorry. I know Van Bruggen is the priority here, and I told you it was my business and I could take care of it. It's just... The more I think about it, the more I realize I'm in over my head. I'm just a pilot. I'm not a damn cop. But I need to know the truth.
Tell me about Evelyn.
She was beautiful, carefree, loved to have a good time. I met her during my internship for a private transportation and logistics firm here in Shanghai. She was a great pilot, too. Knew how to feel the currents, to push the bird just so. Too bad her talents for reading the wind didn't translate to reading guys.
How so?
She was always getting into trouble with the wrong crowds. And it always had to do with some boy. She knew I didn't like him. Her boyfriend at the time, Lee, it drove a wedge between us, and when we parted ways, it wasn't amicable.
I understand.
She was a good girl, Jensen. She deserved better.
Why do you suspect Evelyn's boyfriend had something to do with her death?
Because he was poison, right from the start. Born into money and influence, but never once assuming responsibility for anything. I don't think he's worked an honest day in his life.
So he was a wealthy, pig-headed asshole. If that was reason enough to accuse someone of murder, half the world would be in the pen.
No, there's more to it than that. He's known for violent outbursts, domestic altercations. He nearly killed a kid over some stupid gambling feud. The problem is, his family made him untouchable, even to the police.
And Evelyn was okay with all of this?
She always tried to see the good in people, give him the benefit of the doubt. You could say that's just being naive or even stupid, but I think she was just innocent.
You said you've seen the police report. Who gave it to you?
An old friend who was also a good friend of Evelyn's. He used to work for the Shanghai PD. He left a copy of it along with a few other things concerning Evelyn in a pod here for me to look at. He also left some instructions on how to contact someone at LIM for the autopsy report he's convinced was intentionally buried.
Why would LIM have anything to do with Evelyn's autopsy report?
Well, if you haven't noticed, the Chinese government has been outsourcing branches of its public services for years. Bell Tower polices the streets, and nowadays LIM does more than just cosmetic surgery. They're often contracted for special cases like Evelyn's.
And what made Evelyn's case so special, you think?
Her boyfriend, Lee. He was at the scene. He had Evelyn's blood on him and tested positive for alcohol and drugs in his system. With his rap sheet, it wasn't looking good for him. But his family, they're on a lot of boards with deep pockets and a lot of reach. They wouldn't suffer the embarrassment of having their son indicted on a suspected murder charge.
This autopsy report, once you got your hands on it, what were you planning on doing next?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm a pilot, not a cop, but I felt I had to do something while I had the chance. Maybe once you get the report and we know what it says, we can improvise.
Okay, I'll help. What do you need me to do?
My lead, he works for LIM. He's a systems technician who apparently has access to their entire database. He's willing to hand over a copy of Evelyn's autopsy report.
So you want me to meet him and get the report, is that it?
Yes, but he'll only respond to a certain phrase. Death and life have their determined appointments. To which he'll reply, riches and honors depend upon heaven.
Christ, Malik, this is starting to sound like something out of a bad spy movie.
I know. He's just trying to protect himself. I didn't pick the damn quote. So just play along and remember the line, okay? You'll find him inside the lobby of the Lower Hengsha Limb Clinic.
Does this guy have a name?
None that I know of. But he apparently goes by the handle Anonymous X. I know.
Anonymous X. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, before I forget, everything concerning Evelyn's incident, newspaper articles, the police report, limb details, it's all inside pod 009 here in the hotel. You should read over everything if you can.
Pod 9. Got it.
I need to go. Contact me with any updates and... Thank you. I really appreciate this, Jensen.
Can't you see I'm busy? Go bother someone else.
Death and life have their determined appointments.
What? Oh, and riches and honors depend upon heaven. Very good.
Right, what now?
Shh. They have eyes and ears everywhere. Meet me outside the clinic. Turn left from the front and go down the stairs. I'll be waiting at the corner. I'm relieved to know they sent a professional, at least.
That makes two of us.
Right. Well, you're not exactly what I was expecting. I was told I would be meeting a girl. How do I know you're not an imposter or some sort of double agent? Don't think I don't know this could all just be an elaborate trap to set me up.
Look, no offense, Mr. X, or whatever your name is, but I really don't have time for this. So if you could simply just give me what I came for, I'll be on my way.
Yes, yes. I have it right here. Evelyn Carmichael's autopsy report. Here, take it.
Thank you.
I trust you will put this information to good use, because accountability and justice is at an all-time low, I'm afraid. It pains me to see this once great city, which stood as a bastion for reform and progress against our oppressive communist origins, succumb to the trappings of corporate bureaucracy and petty corruption. Corruption so often typical of your Western governments.
Whatever you say. Now, if you don't mind, I really must be going.
Well, there is still the matter of my payment. 1,000 credits was the agreed-upon price, I believe. Isn't that right?
And what were you just saying about corruption?
A deal is a deal. Surely your handlers informed you of this little detail.
No, my handlers failed to mention this little detail. Never mind. Just take your money. This report better be worth it.
Oh, I assure you it is. Whoever it was that didn't want this information given to the proper authorities paid a lot of money to have it ignored. A pity for them, LIM policy strictly prohibits deletion of records concerning operational procedures. For legal purposes, you see.
Legal, right. Nice doing business with you, X. Malik, I just got the autopsy report. No drugs or alcohol in Evelyn's system. And her estimated time of death doesn't fit Lee's story. She did die from a head wound, but not one that matches the evidence found at the scene.
I knew it. It couldn't have been just an accident.
There's more. Evelyn was pregnant. Malik?
I'm here. We can't let him get away with this, Jensen. He's guilty. He has to be. Can you go to his apartment?
And do what?
Get proof. Get something. I'm sending you the coordinates. Contact me again when you're there.
Malik, I think I got a probable murder weapon. A broken clock. The kicker is the hands line up roughly with Evelyn's TOD. Coincidence?
That's a hell of a stretch. You really think?
If Lee's as dumb as you say, maybe. We'd need lab tech analysis to confirm, but if there ever was a smoking gun, it fits. I'll keep looking. I'm sure there's more here. Malik. Looks like Hong Sr. was upset with Hong Jr.'s behavior and threatened to cut off his inheritance if he didn't stop whoring around. Sounds like he considered Evelyn beneath the family name.
And if he knew she was pregnant, I can't believe Lee would do something like that just for money.
Speaking of money, the Hong family seems heavily invested in both Bell Tower and Lim. That could explain the cover-up and lack of a proper investigation. I'll stick around a bit. I'm sure there's still more to find.
Hey, Lee, baby. Can't wait to see you tonight. But I'm stuck at work. I know, I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you, baby. I promise. I'll meet you at the Hive, okay? Just don't get the party started without me. I want you all to myself tonight.
The Hive? I should have guessed Lee would be there. It's pretty much a second home for him.
Wait a minute, you heard that?
Sorry, Jensen. I don't like invading your privacy like this, but it's important. Plus, this gives me an idea. When you're done looking around Lee's apartment, head to the Hive. Contact me when you're there.
Okay, I think that's it. I'm heading to the Hive now. I doubt we'll find anything else in here without calling in a forensics team.
Sounds good.
What you want, Chrome Boy?
Is your name Lee Hong?
Yeah, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. What's it to you?
I want to talk to you about Evelyn Carmichael.
Man, it's off! I already told all you narcos all there is to say.
Relax. I'm not with the police. I work private. And you could say I specialize in cases like yours.
If you ain't police, then what the fuck you want?
A simple proposition. I have proof that shows you murdered Evelyn. And I want you to pay me 2.5 million credits to make that proof disappear.
2.5? Bullshit. You ain't got shit on me, Narco. I ain't paying you shit.
I strongly suggest you reconsider.
And I strongly suggest you get the fuck out of my face. Cause unless you got your proof right here, I ain't got shit to say to you.
All right. Let's start with the police report. I know your story doesn't match up with the evidence at the scene of Evelyn's fall.
Oh yeah? And why's that?
Because the police report was full of inaccuracies, like someone deliberately tampered with evidence.
Yeah, and? That still don't prove shit.
Not only does the evidence not add up, but neither does your testimony. You lied about why Evelyn fell down the stairs in the first place. You said you'd both been drinking heavily prior to the accident, and the reason Evelyn fell was because she was drunk. We both know that isn't true.
Man, that shit was in the papers.
Now, if the evidence doesn't fit and your story was a lie, then how did Evelyn die on that night? Well, the answer is pretty simple, really. You killed her. But how? By hitting her in the head with that antique clock you keep so prominently displayed in your apartment. The lacerations on her head, the intracranial hemorrhaging, it's the perfect match.
In my apartment? How the fuck do you know what's in my apartment?
And like any good crime of passion, you needed motivation, something to fuel your violent outbursts. What did Evelyn say or do to make you murder her? She told you she was pregnant, and you panicked. Faced with the prospect of losing your easy way of life, you struck out at her in anger.
How? That's impossible.
But now the final piece of the puzzle. Why was Evelyn's death never considered a murder investigation? Because your family, one of the wealthiest and most influential families in Shanghai, covered it up. But whose silence did they buy? Lim. Your family's sizable investments in Lim assured the autopsy performed on Evelyn's body would never see the light of day, and her death would simply fall through the cracks of an already crumbling justice system.
Fuck this shit, man! And fuck you!
I can help you, Lee, but only for a price.
Alright, fuck! I can't believe this shit! I'll pay you, man! I'll pay you, just... What do you need from me?
Details. Let me hear your side of the story, and then we'll move on from there.
I don't know. Evelyn, that stupid bitch! She was going to ruin me. I didn't mean to kill her, okay? Evelyn wouldn't shut up about us, about the baby, so I hit her. I just wanted to make her shut her stupid mouth. But the dumb bitch started freaking out. So I hit her again until she finally stopped screaming. When I realized what I'd done, I panicked. She was barely breathing, so I carried her to the stairs near my apartment and dropped her. I had to make sure it looked like an accident. I had no choice. She trapped me. She just wanted my money. I would have been ruined.
I need to go. We'll be in contact again soon.
Huh? What about the evidence? And the money? Where the fuck you going?
Goodbye, Lee. Malik, please tell me you got a recording of all that.
Oh my God, Jensen, I could kiss you right now. I can't believe you got him to confess so openly like that.
To be honest, it was easier than I was expecting. You were definitely right about Lee. He's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed.
Well, don't get too cocky just yet. Before I send our little friend's confession off to the local media and authorities, I want to get some Shanghai street justice first. There's a control panel linked to the hive I need you to hack. Uploading the coordinates now.
Jensen.
Malik?
Well, first take this. I was gonna use it myself, but after everything you've done, I think you deserve it more.
So what are you gonna do now?
I have a few loose ends to tie up, and I need to make sure this autopsy report finds its way into the right hands. The Hongs aren't gonna buy their way out of this one.
Lee's confession is solid. With that and the evidence from the autopsy, there's no way he can avoid prosecution. Justice will be served.
Oh, justice will be served, all right. You might want to stick around for a second. I've got one last little surprise for our friend Lee.
Are you facing the hive? It's almost showtime. In 3, 2...
Malik.
Just watch.
I don't know. Evelyn, that stupid bitch. She was going to ruin me. I didn't mean to kill her, okay?
Malik, remind me never to piss you off.
After everything you've done here for Evelyn, for me, you'd have to try pretty hard, mister.